I quoted Mustafa. He's still alive. He's the one who said he examined all these corruption cases, and he said almost 80% of them are cases of just stealing and should be treated as yes.
Okay. Is that I still corruption?
Yes.
Stealing
is bad. It's let me say corruption, for example, in a society based on our own values. 2 unmarried men sleeping is corruption. But can you compare that to stealing? So the word corruption, we have abused it, and it's no longer making so much sense. Except maybe talk about the country's corruption. But I think quoting Mustafa, I'm not the one. And even that day when I made that statement, I quoted Mustafa. I did not say stealing is not corruption. I said, but Mustafa, as a lawyer, I was the Chief Justice of the country. He said it took time because of this corruption. Because I invited all of them for that meeting. So he decided to withdraw most of these cases about corruption. And he studied the cases. And he said that more than 70%, either they use the word 80 or 70, but I believe more than 70 or more than 80% are clear cases of stealing. And they should be treated that way, not to be covered up under corruption. Even if you look at the 2 agencies we have the ICPC. ICPC is actually the only agency that is set to deal with corruption. Independent Corrupt Practices Commission. ICPC is the only agency that is set out to deal with pure corrupt practices. It's not even EFCC. EFCC is criminal cases bordering on economic issues. And the police will handle cases of stealing. So when you try to cover everything, that means that ICPC is supposed to handle all these files, because that is the only agency set up by government that's supposed to deal with pure corruption issues. So I think people are confused. It's not actually my quotation. It's not actually my quotation. I quoted the Chief Justice of the Federation that time, but it is being used wrongly. But luckily, nobody has said, "Oh, the president said that stealing is good." There's no human being that will say stealing is good, because our people know a thief is somebody who don't want to come near you.
So, are we identifying thieves in our society now?
Of course, yeah. Even if you talk about what the agencies are doing, we take this for an say so. And I said that it's better the chairman of EFCC himself should address the media. In terms of prosecuting people and convicting people, we have done more conviction within this period than before. But I always say that even if you convict 1 million people, it does not stop this stealing or corrupt practice.
What do you think will stop?
You must make sure that people don't steal. Don't put the money where people steal, like we've done in the fertilizer procurement. If you leave a goat and a yam or a plantain together, the goat will eat. What you have to do, if you want to make sure that the goat does not eat the yam, you must separate it. So that's what we are doing. That we must make sure that. Luckily, we have IT. Now you are all digital people. Mm-hmm. With IT, you can do a number of things. That's why we removed the stealing that was taking place in the. I don't even want to say corruption. The stealing that was taking place in the fertilizer sector. Mm-hmm. Every year, the states and the federal government spend a lot of money, and this just
doesn't get to waste.
Yes, they stole the money. Thieves should be called thieves. Mm-hmm. My brother.
So
thieves should be called thieves. And if you go to my village and talk about thieves, everybody, even the 90%, know who is a thief. Right? It's a corruption. The man will look at you, does not know what you're talking about.
Anyway, Deji,
for me, I would want to go back to the issue of security, if you wouldn't mind, Mr. President. The $1 billion loan you actually asked the National Assembly to approve to purchase equipment. What exactly is the state of that? And, sorry, it's a double-barrel question. The second would be, what exactly is the state of things with the problem we had with South Africa over the $9.3 million issue?
The $1 billion loan, because it's a loan, had to go to the National Assembly. I think the House of Reps gave the approval quite late. But we have not even, because it's a loan, so we have to draw. We have not even started drawing from that money. But the National Assembly have approved the $1 billion loan. But we haven't started drawing. We've been managing, and we want to pay directly to countries. We don't want, because of this stealing of money, You call corruption or stealing. Well, thief is a thief. You just use the word corruption to think things that are black and look like not too black. What we are doing now this time is for military procurement. We do what we call government to government. Most the companies that produce weapons have links with their state government, the countries, because you cannot be allowed to produce. They are not granite. So we are now arranging through the countries, and that money nobody will see. Everything will be from central bank straight to those countries. We've not started disbursing it. The issue of the $9.3 million or so, actually that money is technically, yes, the money came from us, but technically it's not our money. It was paid to a company. But the only thing is that because of the circumstances of the transaction and the way the company carried the money across to South Africa, it became an issue. And of course, the matter is in court. I believe they will get the money back, but the matter is in court. No, the matter is in court, so until the court processes concluded. It's not as if the government is no longer directly in the
because government pays
yes.
this company.
Yes, it pays the company that carried the money to South Africa.
But the company has not delivered the weapons anyway, so.
No, they have. It's a contract, so it is not our fault. But it's just, of course, we suffer some kind of bad image when $9.something million and the media, because especially in the political period where people paint all kinds of colors, but technically it's not our money. And because the matter is in court, so the money is there. So the company has got its obligation, so they have to do their best to give us what
Ibrahim has been eating.
Yes, I want to ask a question related to this one.
Which one, 9.3?
Yeah. If we remember, one of the reasons why the transaction had to go like that was that the American government was not willing to cooperate with Nigeria on the issue of purchase of arms from American companies, either in America or in Europe. Now, Mr. President, you have mentioned earlier on this night that Nigeria has procured the right arms to fight this insurgency. So I wonder if you have mended fences with the U.S. government and you were able to purchase arms from American companies.
In terms of weapons in a nation like Nigeria, you can never get enough. I say we have gotten reasonable that can enable us to combat them. I'm not saying we've gotten all what we would have loved to get. You're just asking about the 1 billion. As I say, yes, the National Assembly have approved, we have not drawn. But in terms of, the issues of the American companies is they feel that there are elements of human rights abuse in Nigeria by our soldiers. That is the insinuation that has been there. And that if they sell the weapons, it could be used. And because of that, they are restraining. But we are getting different companies, different countries that also produce some different calibers of weapons. Maybe if you want to buy this glass from the America and you cannot get exactly this glass, you may get a similar one. May not be as good as this, but it will help you do your work. But I don't need to come and enumerate the countries that are helping us. So, but we have gotten some equipment from other sources that, at least for now, we can move faster than we've been moving. And watch out for the next 3 weeks.
All right, Mr. President, there are insinuations outside there, and then so right. And some people say that your supporters, very big ones at that, have said if you lose the election or the other party wins, you will not hand over. And especially at the social media level, and they express so much concern that you don't want to relinquish power. You will not if the election does not come your way. Can you explain this?
If in 2011 I said that I will conduct free and fair elections, and if I lose, I'll happily go home. And it should be recorded as at that time, no African sitting president had lost the election. But within this period, the number of African sitting presidents have been lost elections. But I said I wanted to create the history to be the first African president that will lose elections. But let the world know that the elections are free and fair. Then I just concluded the late president's tenure. I was just a president for about a year, acting for some months then. But I said that I would be happy to go home. That this nation is more important than any human being. And I still maintain it. Anybody who wants to hold this office of a president or any office at all and feel that he is more important than the nation, then that is not quite right. So if as at that time I said that I was ready to conduct free and fair election, and if I lose, I'll go. We're not to talk about now that at least Nigerians gave me the opportunity to be here for 4 full years. So if the elections are conducted and I lose, of course, they will inaugurate a new government. There's no way you say, okay, if I lose, I will not hand over to. No. I think necessary insinuation. Those are the things that make you a cab driver to be.
I ask all kinds of people to ask questions. Anything you want to find out from Mr. President.
Those are insinuations that it's quite unfortunate. There's a lot of wrong information that is floating in the system, especially in the social media, even in the normal media, both television, radio, and even the print media. What you read in the papers, sometimes you feel sad.
Well, you are with us now, so we can clear a lot of things. So it's an opportunity to do that. So we're glad the Nigerians are hearing from your mouth, a thief is a thief. You are not
Don't paint it with corruption. If you go to my village and say this person is corrupt, they will just be looking at you. They don't know. They will not know what you're talking about.
And we're going to face.
But if you say this person is a thief, everybody, the smallest child, the oldest person, will know what you're talking about. And so let's call thieves thieves.
May 29 is sacrosanct?
Of course.
But I wonder, the elections, the rallies, you just conducted, you just rounded up your rallies. So what are you going to be doing from now till?
Not quite. We are yet to go to Yobe and we are yet to do the Abuja rally.
Only two.
Because, yes. In fact, somehow, the key political parties, I think APC too, because the last day I had a conversation with General Buhari, the day we had the Council of State meeting. He said that they are also yet to do Yobe, Bruno. And of course, all of us
for obvious reasons.
Not obvious reasons. We were to go to Yobe on Saturday, but then we had to do the Council of State meeting and these issues had to come up. So we felt, let us hold on, because depending on the security issues, if elections are adjusted, then of course it's better to do the remaining one, maybe closer to the election. But election is not all about open rallies. Open rallies are more like ceremonies, but a number of other all the political key actors are going around, go to different programs, meet some individuals, and so on. So those conversations are going on. You don't necessarily need to do open rallies, but you must be reaching out to people. All politicians do that. So that's what we'll be doing. I believe close to the elections, you see that people may do some few rallies.
Who are you reaching out to the most?
People like you.
Women? Or?
Women and youths. Because you control more than 80% of the voting population, the young people and the women.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would appear I lost security, and
I'm going back.
I'm going back to security.
Security is key, because without security, I'm happy you love security.
No, I think
without security, you can't do election.
No. Let's talk about the Boko Haram, the ceasefire that did not actually happen, that we had some time ago. What exactly happened? Were we swindled? Was the government swindled?
No, the government was not swindled in any way. When you talk about swindling, it's like give money to people and they disappeared. No, there was nothing like swindling. I know from the beginning of the Boko Haram, in my interviews, people say, engage the Boko Haram. I said, yes, we are ready to engage people, but they are faceless. During the Niger Delta crisis, some of these Niger Delta key leaders, I met them in State House here when Obasanjo was the president. Then I was the deputy governor, later becoming governor. A number of them, it was in Abuja, in the State House I met them.